I would like to be in a better state to do this video, but time is of the essence, and in a few hours, officially, the great AI god of censorship and monitoring and all that kind of crap is going to go live. Of course, it's been live for several years progressively in different ways, but it's going to officially go live. And anyone wants to say we're still living in a paradise or a 1984 dystopia, right? Which is the purpose of this video. I'm not in the best state because of my injuries doing real life Batman stuff and all that kind of crap. At least I can get some degree of medical help these days. I'm not 100% stonewalled and blacklisted, but it's an uphill battle. I actually came back from medical stuff just a short time ago, actually. Anyway, there's a reason for this video. I wanted to do it by this day, just before the 10th of December, when it all goes live, when all this crap goes live. How many times did I warn people about what was going to come? I got gaslighted, attacked, blah blah blah. And when the government came after me because of what I can prove, everything I'm saying is true. Really. In fact, I'm so sick, I'm about to be sick. I don't have to do it in a second take. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, I'm back, or kind of. There we go, come back from the depths of hell. I think they kicked me out again. Can't remember. Anyway, I'll try to do this in one more sitting and not pass out or whatever. The reason for this video, there's so much I could say, but the reason is that recently I was going through evidence to prove the obvious. I've been proven right about so many things. I've never been proven wrong about anything I've said here all these years. Everything I've been under attack and gaslighted to oblivion for. Not just by the government, but the people of the Central Coast. Everyone who knew me, which is the point of this video. While looking for specific evidence of so many stuff people showing me, that's proven true, that's proven true, so much stuff every day. People are always showing me stuff, you know. So I went through, when I go through some old files, got so much files, so much evidence. I wanted to retrieve something specific in response to something that someone was showing me about all the proof of whatever they're showing me at the time. And I went into the wrong subfolder, and I accidentally ended up looking at stuff I'd forgotten I even had about so many people who'd fucked me over all these years. You know, I used to go out like 3 or 4 nights a week, pubbing, clubbing, all kinds of stuff. And I didn't care what kind of history you had, so long as you didn't misbehave, and I'd never seen you misbehave and you treated me well and you didn't go around abusing people. I don't care if everyone hates you. I'll hang out with you. And of course, me doing that, reaching out to people in kindness, people, especially a lot of people who didn't have many or any friends, obviously that would come back on me, and I would get criticized for being certain people's friends. But, you know, a little bit like Jesus in that regard, I don't go hanging around the rich and famous people. Those people piss me off, actually. I'd rather hang around the lowly people, give them a chance they never had, even though you know, I have to pay for it in many ways, times over. You think that by doing so, and not only that so many people that I've lent money to and done so much for, people I've built their friggin' homes for them, and their businesses and all kinds of things. You think I get a little bit of respect and treated a little bit more than what I ask, which is just to be treated no differently to a stranger in the street. But I don't even get that. It's like, the more I do for people, especially the more people borrow money off me, the worse they treat me, and then they start gaslighting me stuff. You see, when the government came after me especially, I think everything changed. Some people thought that, some people might have thought it at first, oh shit, what's happened to Jeremy? He must have gone crazy saying all this stuff, but hang on, he's been saying some of this stuff for a while. He just didn't talk about it much. All this spy work and government stuff and intelligence world shit. What's going on there? And then, you know, I start progressively putting up evidence. Yeah, I understand at first some assholes might have at first thought something was wrong with me. I mean, anyone who wants to jump to that conclusion early like that, fuck you. But it was more to what I was saying, and I should put up the evidence as much as I was able to over many years. Abundance of evidence. And at least some people, before they left me for dead, at least had the courtesy to let me know, I've seen the evidence and I believe everything you're saying, and because of that, I can never speak to you again because I'm scared they'll come after me for just talking to you, just being in your proximity. So, best wishes. Bye-bye, die. That's the best I get treated, right? Few people, said a few words here and there, that's about it. Did help at the time, but not enough, not remotely enough. But all these years, who was there? Everyone left me for dead. The Central Coast, people around the world, people who are really messed up in dark places of the world, they look at the Central Coast and they think, what the hell is wrong with these people? These are like borderland psychos. They don't understand what's wrong with how they behave. I mean, I'm looking at my finger right now, which I might never get, because a junkie almost bit my finger off and bit the tendon off. Me doing real life Batman stuff, saving lives from idiot junkies and stuff like that. Because you all think this is normal. Talking about shitholes. Everything's poisonous here, and even the government's poisonous, the population's poisonous, and this is worse than hell. But I went public. The government went after me. And I've done nothing wrong, done no crime. Turns out I was actually living a real life superhero life. Not that I didn't keep it totally secret from people. I was careful of how much to say. I'll try to gently bring the topic up here and there without saying too much. People knew I had a whole bunch of skills that don't kind of match the kind of life I'm supposed to live, and then I was doing stuff. Turns out some people knew all along. Didn't say much about it. Others might come as a bit of a surprise. But I can't believe sorry about my eyes messing up. In fact, I'm wearing real glasses right now because I'm half blind because of what the government did to me. My eyes are going all funny on not my eyes, but my character's eyes. I could take that might help a bit. I'll take my glasses off. Probably glare in my eyes. Alright, so now I'm blind, I can't see. I used to have perfect vision up until a few years ago. And it's getting worse. I can't believe how many people fucked me over and left me for dead. Everyone locally. And I had to have support from interstate and intercontinental. I can't believe how many people try to exploit me, especially for money. And then after the government gaslighted me, how they would jump on board that, hey, if the government's gaslighting him, we can just go borrow money off him until he's got nothing left, like certain people did, and I'll get to that. And then just say, oh, you're crazy, I never borrowed money off you. And when I put up evidence, my hell breaks loose, right? But anyway, I was going through a folder. I think my character settings are messed up. It's not my glasses. Look, it's not me. It's those eye movements are. It's programmed. I've got the settings wrong. Yep, it's just the settings. Don't worry about it. My eyes aren't going funny like that. My vision's messed up, but that's in the settings. I've got no time to change it. I just need to lower the settings. It's got artificial movements to make it more realistic. It looks pretty cool, right? It just needs a few tweaks. I must have accidentally bumped a setting earlier. Anyway, so I was going through a folder and that folder had a whole bunch of shit from how many people fucked me over since 2013. Especially like from 2013 to 2016. But I came across one particular image that just really pissed me off. And I'm going to put it up right now. Where is it? Oh, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Put the right one up. Yeah, that's the one. I'll just move my avatar out of the way. I'm moving a bit smaller. Oh, wrong button. Hang on. settings are different than the way it used to be. Whoops. Let's turn him around a bit. Now I've got to reset him a bit. That should do. In fact, I like these controls a bit better, but we can just move around like this. Yeah, I couldn't do this before. It's all different. Alright. So I'll see if I can look at my recording stream. I'll see it. Oh, my eyes are not the best anymore. So this is something that this is one of the people I used to go clubbing with every weekend, and a lot more. And you think any of these people would have stuck up for me, helped me out in any kind of way when the government went after me? But no, the whole time they're virtue signaling, doing the rainbow flags and the commie shit, and every pro-government, pro-police, pro-power, institutional power crap they can do to try to appear virtue signaling. Some of them even turn up to stupid, mundane protests for abusers of power in the government, not for the innocent victims, but for the for cringe as fuck. But I saw this post up here, and I just look, after for years I've been fucked over by every one of these people left for dead. I want to make this video and point this out. I want to cover this, and remember, I want to remind everybody who fucked me over, all the shit you did to me. It's all fucking documented, and this is just a little example of that. I want the world to see in the last day before the great censorship machine kicks in that you all just did know nothing about. The day before, the last day of freedom, you could say. I want to post all the people who fucked me over, who led to this shit that we're in right now. Oh my fucking god! Enough of the criticisms and blame game. Remember, like, this is criticism and blame in itself, the hypocrisy at every level, right? Enough of the criticisms and blame game. Sick to death of seeing it on here. It is dividing us at a time we need to stick together the most. The hypocrisy, the hypocrisy, the hypocrisy. We are so goddamn lucky in this country compared to, well, pretty much every other single country in the world. Really? Hang on, let me just show you. This is my life, right? Well, let's move out of the way. This is my life, right? So lucky. I'm so lucky, right? I'd have more rights in Afghanistan or Somalia or some shit, right? I'd get treated better if I turned up to Saudi Arabia in a bikini. Yeah, they'd probably kill me, but they wouldn't do this to me. They wouldn't torture me the way that the Australian government corrupt motherfuckers did. This country started off as a penal colony, servicing political corruption and a usurping of my people's kingdom over the other side of the world. We were sent here to die in the gulags. The hypocrisy and lies and filth pisses me off of all these fucking hypocrites. We're so goddamn lucky, blah, 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 better every country in the world. From our healthcare system to our support benefits and our liberal democracy. Yeah, a democracy means that my voice gets heard, my arguments get heard. I don't get censored, but my voice gets propped up and my concerns are dealt with, as opposed to assassination attempts on record over and over. Really, liberal democracy. I don't think you even know what liberal or democracy even means. And healthcare system, really, with all the documentation I've done with the extreme abuses, like, people see what's happened, the crimes done in Australia to the citizens, especially under the name of the healthcare system. And all messed up areas of the world see, and they say, you know the question everyone's asking? What the hell is going on in Australia? Filth like this is going on in Australia. The worst kind of traitor, piece of crap, scumbags you can possibly think of. Not just on the government, but the weasels trying to buddy into the shadow of power to abuse for any kind of self-gain to get a leg up. Fucking filth. Want to have a real whinge? Go live in war-torn Afghanistan, where the Taliban are currently overthrowing the government and committing human rights atrocities against its citizens. Or the current rebellion and riots in South Africa. Or communist China or Cuba, where you disappear. Well, here where you disappear, actually, in Australia. But you want to talk about people going live in Afghanistan and all these other fucked up countries? Like, who do you think facilitated the ability for non-Muslims in these places to go live? I'm the founder of Anonymous. Look it up. Anonymous is attributed to getting information in and out. I've been a big part in helping these people the whole fucking time, including bringing down political regimes and stuff, even stopping nuclear weapons at times. Fucking hypocrites. Currently overthrowing the government. Well, actually, I've been part of overthrowing governments. Big part. To stop those human rights atrocities that are happening here. You know, in America right now, when it comes to malignant intent by governments and the threat they pose to the United States of America, do you know that Australia, in certain key categories, Australia is listed as one of the top. The Australian government, the current system and political parties are considered one of the top 3 greatest threats. The Big M isn't. That's not a country, but a rogue intelligence agency of a country. They're not considered a threat anyway because they have so much power over every country. But yeah, even still, they're not even considered in the top 3. Australia is. You fucking shilling scumbags. Guilty of everything that was done to me. Lot I could say. Oh, communist China. But you're pushing communist stuff here. And you're pushing for the gulags against innocent people like me who stand up to corruption and protect the victims. Fucking hypocrite filth. If you so much as let a word slip against those in power in these other places... No, it's worse. It's actually worse here. And this is well known. But anyone who has half a fucking brain does only 5 minutes of research. Chances are, if you're watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to sit here for countless hours like I've done for years, showing abundance of evidence of this. Everyone fucking knows. Fucking lying shills playing dumb. Trying to butt suck their way into power. If you can't see and appreciate Australia's silver lining and acknowledge the fact that governing a nation or a state is a huge, complex and multifaceted job, then just shut the fuck up. We all need to come together and shut the fuck up and do what you say. Really. Governing a nation or a state is not a huge or complex or multifaceted job. It is so simple that the whole political class has been rejected and celebrities and stuff with no qualifications have been put in. In fact, watch this. You want to look at this. Not that one. I was got another one. Let me find it. Let me go. So find it. It wasn't the one I was going to show. I might be able to pull it. Chicks, I've got so many memes that I make here. Oh, here we go. So you want to go look at the Prime Ministers of Australia. In fact, I'll just leave this overlaid for a sec. The past 10 Australian Prime Ministers, right? The last 2 have absolutely no documented skills whatsoever. Nothing. Right? The 3 before that, the only skill sets they really have is that they're lawyers. The very people that government and laws are supposed to stop, the people who are trying to exploit and weasel the system. Right? So the last 2 have no skills whatsoever, and the only documented so-called skill the last 3 before that have is their lawyers. And then before that, we got Kevin Rudd, who's just China's best bro. Yeah, we got Mr. Budgie Smugglers, Mr. Shits his pants at Macca's, cliche little snotty lispy commie who spits everywhere. Right? These are these people's only thing they're known for. They have no skills whatsoever. Nothing. Really. I could give a monkey a pencil and a wooden spoon and he would do a better job. And if you don't identify as being qualified to know, then you shut up, because I'm qualified. I'm overqualified. That's why a lot of celebrities who are completely unqualified are being put into positions of power, because they can do a better job than these dumbasses. This isn't simply incompetence, it's corruption. Oh, well, no, oh yeah, Australia's just got a few minor problems, that's it, nothing minor, just a few tweaks to fix it. We're close to perfect. Whereas the rest of the world is like, what the hell is going on in Australia? Filth bags like this are going on in Australia. I'm fucking sick of them, especially, worst of all, on the Central Coast. Everyone who fucked me over and left me for dead in every corner. No one lifted a finger to stand up and help me. Everyone left me for dead here. All the help I had to get was interstate and overseas. Fucking scumbags. After everything I've done for so many people who milked my whole fucking life savings under false pretenses, it turns out they were just buying drugs and shit. So this was in, oh by the way, this is in 2021, I think, oh yes, 2021. This is during the height of the COVID stuff with all the government corruption. Literally, the police around here were running across the train tracks with riot gear and machine guns and shotguns, shooting people and killing them and shit. And a lot of these abuses that, you know, around the world with police abuse over this and 984 stuff, most of it was in Australia. And most of that was actually here on the Central Coast. To a lesser degree Melbourne and a couple of incidents in Queensland. But most of it was here in the Central Coast. I need to rotate my character a bit. He's not facing right. That's a bit better. There we go. He's facing right. Most of it happened here. So I finally respond. And you notice in my first response here, I've got a couple of compilation, you can't see the whole images, but here's a bunch of compilation images with text on it as well, showing evidence of what I've talking about, everything I've fucking been through because of the fucking gaslighting by so many fucking degenerates like this. So in my response here I say, oh really? How am I lucky? I'm a fugitive without a crime. I've been kidnapped and extensively tortured by the government multiple times. I've been imprisoned multiple times, once for a whole year, each time without charge or trial. I am banned from all government resources, especially medical resources I need to save my life from the injuries they did to me. All because I am a whistleblower, witness, victim of extreme, systemic government corruption, and I have half a terabyte of evidence and witness testimonies. By the way, that includes testimonies of people in high places, people with security clearances and diplomat statuses and shit, right? I have an abundance of evidence to prove everything I say. Anyone who looks at my stuff will see very quickly I do, and I ain't bluffing. Fucking liars. Playing dumb the whole fucking time. Is it any wonder Julian Assange left the country? I would be far better off in Afghanistan, where I can defend myself with a gun, don't have to wear a mask, and can safely run one of their opium farms, supplying medical resources to the whole world. Because where most of the world opiums, at least back in those days, was in Afghanistan, especially after the war in Afghanistan. Where are all the people coming together to defend my rights? I've been on the run waiting for 8 years. And there's some images showing all the crap all the proof of all the kind of everything that I'm saying, everything that's been done to me. Fucking lying hypocrites. And here's the response. And by the way, look, you got to like each other's posts and shit, right? All fucking buddy in on the fucking conspiracies to fuck over people who dare point out your sins. Oh, I'm a threat. I'm the bad guy because I'm not in on the cover-ups and the fake bullshit yous all do. You fucking larping pieces of shit, the whole fucking lot of yous. You have been unwell for the response. You have been unwell for years. Notice the vague, nebulous gaslighting with fake medical terms. They can never be specific about any of the accusations. It's all vague nothings that go nowhere. You have been unwell for years. I even know this from the last time I spent time with you around 8 to 9 years ago at the lakes. And that, when I saw this image and I saw that line there, I'm going to have to do a video about this. Because this is one of the many kind of gaslighting, buried under an ocean of fucking gaslighting lies that I've had to fucking deal with. I documented all the horrible shit they did to me, and I wanted to use this as an example. I accidentally went through the wrong folder, found this one in particular, saw a line like, I'm doing a video on this before the 10th of December. I want people to fucking know that all these filth bags, what they did. And there is justice coming for everyone who fucked me over. The evidence will not be deleted. There are backups around the world. And there is hell to pay. That I'll guarantee. So, the Lakes 8 to 9 years ago, the last time she spoke to me, and I remember this incident very well. And I'm going to tell you all exactly what happened. I was doing my rounds on might have been a Friday night, I think, but not sure. I would do this Fridays and Saturdays and sometimes some other days as well. I knew people from all over the place and out with all kinds of people. Quite popular back in those days. Even though I wouldn't consider a single one of those people really my friends, because who stood up for me or who stood up for each other when it counts, right? All fucking vampires in disguise. A lot of milk my life savings. So that night, I'd actually came from the lakes. I think I went to the bottom pub, I went to the lakes, and I was going to the greens, and would have ended up at Diggers, at the fourth destination probably. Usual run, have a drink at each place, end up at Diggers, staying at Diggers. I might not make it to Diggers depending on what's going on in one of these places, because I knew people from all these places. So I go say hello to everyone. So I got to the greens, which has since been burned down apparently. The greens at the entrance. I go to walk in the door, and she's coming out going nuts. She's being kicked out by security guards and everything, and she's gone completely violent and nuts. And she's like, "Oh, Jeremy, please save me, please save me." I was like, "What's going on?" She wanted me to save her from herself. She was completely psychotic. She started a brawl, picking fights and attacking people and setting people off and provoking people. Complete fucking violent psychopath. She gets kicked out. All hell broke loose in there apparently. She gets kicked out. So, I don't know, miraculously didn't get charged, probably because I'm a woman or some bullshit. She's begging me to rescue her from herself in a psychosis, to stop her from going back in, and to take her somewhere and keep her mind occupied, because she's gone fucking bonkers in a psychosis. So I said, I just come from the lakes. Do you want to come with me there, and I'll get your mind off whatever's going on here? And she told me more details on the way. And people who are like that often go from extreme lows to extreme highs. So she went to an extreme high, saying this is the best night of my life when we're at the lakes. And she calmed down, but people are unstable like this. They're not going to stay stable, right? But at least she was not going bonkers. Probably still in a psychosis, but not in a active, like aggressive psychosis, right? Just on a high mode. So I had a babysitter down there to stop her from fucking killing people in a fucking psychotic mess. But anyway, I'm the one who's unwell when I'm the one that has to fucking sort everyone else's head out and fucking babysit everyone else. I had to fucking babysit her that night. So while I'm babysitting her, and cancelled my whole night to babysit her, stop her from getting herself killed or killing other people. How do I say this? Cauliflower and her sister go into the lakes. And there's a big TV there. And they sit right in front of the TV, right in my way. I'm trying to babysit someone to stop people from freaking dying. Babysit someone who's psychotic. And trying to keep her and to stay low key. Everyone knows all the lies about me over cauliflower, and all the people who attack me over things I never said or done. More psychotic drug addicts and shit attacking me over things I never said or done. Don't get a chance to clear my name. Lie after lie after lie. Where do I begin, right? Evidence is all there. This is just a tiny sample of it. And I have a recording of that night, because as soon as we left the greens, I had to I press record audio on my phone in case something goes down and I need it, right? And because of all the attacks against me anyway, every time I went out, I'd have to secretly record on my audio on my phone in those days, because I would get attacked by random drug addicts because of things, bizarre things that don't even make sense that I've been accused of, said, of done to Cauliflower. Then none of it, not a shred of it's true. It's all nebulous bullshit, just like this, right? So here's me babysitting a psychotic nutter, trying to be low key and just stop people from getting hurt. Cauliflower and a sister one of the sisters I've never met before, they sit in front of me. So I was trying to watch the TV before that, and then they sit in front of me. I'm like, oh, really? I'm trying to babysit a nutter here, and now I'm probably going to get attacked as well by some random drug addict again over Cauliflower. So I just looked down at the table at my drink. I just sat there, basically corner from two sides. I sat there just waiting it out, staring down at the bottle. Eventually I have to get up and go to the toilet. I get up, and as part of getting up, I have to look up to see where I'm going. And Cauliflower starts waving at me. Like, I'm getting thug attacks in her name. I'm getting her accusing me of things I've never said or done too. Who knows why? Maybe random drug addicts are telling her lies about me to make her paranoid. I don't know why. Several times she's followed me and approached me even. While I'm being threatened, don't you ever go near her, or blah 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 blah. It's what I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Anywhere I go, I'm guilty of everything. That doesn't even make any sense. So she starts waving at me, and I look down and look away. I go back to my seat, look down, back at my beer bottle. Stuck between, just trying to not get attacked. Like it's a setup even. And then having to babysit another. I'm there looking down at my beer bottle in a stuck situation. And I got this on record, by the way. I was gonna go perfectly. I've got it on record, and I did upload it in self-defense. And her sister, I've never met before, who seemed off her face on alcohol and probably something else, walks up to me and says, "Stop staring at me! Stop staring at my sister, alright, or I'll knock you the fuck out." Like, this is not the first time this kind of shit has been done. People trying to make stuff up, paranoid, typical. This is like typical meth addict behavior, actually, of people paranoid that someone who's facing the other direction, who's had their back turned to you the whole time or something, and they'll just walk up to someone accusing them of thought invasion or some weird leprechaun shit, right? But I got, that's not the only attack that night. That was that night. There and other places, I get attacked from every angle of things I never said or done. And here I am trying to babysit a nutter who is here gaslighting me. Who, on the day, saw the whole thing and was fully on my side here. It was like, you haven't done nothing. And that should be on the recording too, I think. I've got a clip of it I put in a documentary, and I've got like the whole thing somewhere too, so I've got the whole thing somewhere. And this Tracy here was even saying, like, that's fucked up. You're not doing anything. You're just sitting with me. You're just staring at your bottle the whole time. Or you just come up and start accusing you of things you didn't do. But my reality changes moment to moment, except for me. I'm the only one who's consistent and the only one that gets gaslighted, right? My narrative changed. Someone who sticks to the truth and has a moral high ground is considered a threat, surrounded by a bunch of fucking junkies and shit, right? But that is what happened the last time I spoke to her, 8 or 9 years ago. Trying to defend her, the nutter, the violent, psychotic nutter, who should have been handcuffed and locked up as an imminent threat to the community. I'll continue the message. The police have detained you a number of times under the Mental Health Act in an attempt to provide you with treatment. The low blow vague gaslighting, right? Well, I was technically not detained, and they didn't follow any procedure or anything, and the narrative changes moment to moment. In fact, I think, was it? It's so many accusations, it's hard to say. So I think the first accusation, the gaslighting accusation, which was deleted, everything was deleted many times over, was I have a false belief that a girl might have feelings for me. Then there was documenting government corruption and being too smart for his own good. That's apparently a mental illness, even though that was deleted. And I mean, one of the kidnapping and torture attempts that did horrific things to me, that I have injuries to this day from, they changed the story like I think it was 20 something times. I've got in fact, I did it was part of a documentary that I had. I did an interview over this, and I went through the accusations that they did, the different narratives that they changed moment to moment. But so police grabbed someone 1984 style, with all kinds of horrific evidence of crimes and abuse going on, and somehow I must be the one in the wrong. I'm mentally ill with no one can specify what my fake illness is, or what my false belief is, or anything. There's never specifics because it's just vague gaslighting, right? How the kind of traitorous weasel filth that behaves this way is a menace and a threat to everyone, and cannot be tolerated in society. In any environment, they're a threat to everyone and everything. This kind of filth, and this is pretty much the population of the Central Coast. It's normalized here. Even fucked up places in the world, they look at this and think, what the fuck is going on here? This is worse than Mad Max, and Mad Max is based on here. I've been detained a number of times under the Mental Health Act. Well, according to the records, I don't even exist anymore, let alone this supposedly being true. So no, I was never... None of this actually happened. I was just abused. I've got the recordings. I'm not going to show them here. I've been putting up for years and years. You can see the horrific evidence and the confessions that are being targeted politically, as though this isn't a common thing that has happened since documented history. This kind of abuse and gaslighting and shit by those in power. I got the proof of intent. The confessions on hidden camera. I got all kinds of horrific evidence that I can't even publicly upload. It's so bad. I can only publish the soft stuff. I have to be careful even then, because some of that stuff is considered too much that they ban it. I've seen the paperwork you have posted on Facebook. Really. But you're not going to deal with it. You're just going to pretend. Either it doesn't exist or it doesn't prove what I say. Just gaslighting. I've seen the paperwork you have posted on Facebook. Being in law for 15 years, the very kind of people that law is supposed to protect against. I mean, I'm helping someone through law school right now, and all those professors are saying the same shit I say. To be wary of these kinds of people. These are the very people that lawyers are supposed to war against and protect citizens from. Being in law for 15 years, I know that people aren't detained under this law unless their circumstances are at the high end of extreme, as it involves crossing the line of the fundamental human right to freedom. Really? Okay, if it's so extreme, then where is the evidence of what I've done? And why do I have no criminal record to this day, despite 10 years of kangaroo courts, while literally bleeding out and vomiting blood and passing out every day for 5 hours? I still had to somehow represent myself in 10 years of kangaroo courts from every angle simultaneously. In typically three separate court systems, all at the same time for 10 years. Yet I won it all with a series of appeals, all kinds of bullshit, and all kinds of attempts to injure and prevent me from turning up, all kinds of crap. On top of that, and here I am, with a completely clean criminal record to this day, and not a single shred of evidence against me. of any crime I've done, or let alone any so-called gaslighting accusations about my mental state and false beliefs, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Really. Nothing! There's not a single stain on my record that has any evidence to support it. In fact, recently, when the government tried to fuck me over and kill me, with my appendix exploded for a week, being denied medical treatment and gaslighted and told it's all in my head, people tampered with the records, although others knew the reason this fucking started was I saved someone's life doing real-life Batman shit. This guy's not crazy, something's going on. So look at my records, and they find all these threats and accusations by the government, and when they click them, all their accusations against me, when they click where it goes to, it leads to this. You can't see this because it's considered too offensive to be seen. So people start asking questions like, dude, it's worse than we thought. Not only is this guy legit, there's some bad people who fucking mean this guy harm. A lot of people start talking about it. Then they started panicking. A lot of shit happened. And somehow I survived with an exploded appendix inside my body for a week, on top of the injuries I already freaking had. So much I could fucking say. Well, I'm fucking sick of these lies by these fake lawyers. Remember these fuckers here. Let's go put it back again. All right. Where is it? Where was it? Oh, did I delete it? Oh no, remember, right? These are the very people the law is supposed to protect against. These kind of fucking weasel vampires. Someone who's been practicing law for 15 years and doesn't know the basics of the very basics of law. You ask them, what is the law? Don't understand. Don't even understand what law even is. Like an NPC vampires trying to abuse and twist the law. People aren't detained under this law in the circumstances that certainly, with all these extreme powers the government and police have, like with the Friendly Geordies Fixated Persons Unit example, and so many more like it, like the sluggish schizophrenia, which is basically imaginary thought crime. A disease that has no evidence and is promised to appear. The evidence of these illnesses is supposed to appear in 15 years, only they don't last that long. It's a fake illness to justify gulagging people and doing horrific experiments on them. Look up sluggish schizophrenia or drapetomania. This is the true colours of psychiatry. It's not a medical profession or scientific or medical in any way. It's a necromancer cult from the Dark Ages. That its only purpose is to is coercive control and to take people out who have otherwise not committed a crime and to gaslight them. I think deep down everyone knows this, especially today. But I know the government and police would never abuse exemptions to the law where, oh yeah, you can't break into my home, you need a warrant, blah blah blah. Yet there's this special secret power. All they need to do is say magic words, mental illness, and they can break into your home. They can do whatever they want, and they're immune to the highest level of investigation and process. Oh, no way that that be abused, like it isn't documented being abused massively and systemically, including the very abuses she's acknowledging in the likes of China and stuff like that. Those abuses are primarily by psychiatry, but, you know, we will weaponize it and deny it at the same time, right? Because gaslighting weasels, right? A lot I could say, a lot I can prove. I'm done. I don't need to provide evidence to me. I'm guilty until proven guilty, right? Oh, police did these horrible things to you, then you must have done something really bad. No. No criminal record to this day. If you have evidence of crimes against you and government corruption, go and get a lawyer and take the matter to court. Okay, we got government and police abuse. Oh, I know. I'm going to report police corruption to the police. I'm going to take the courts to court. Anyone who is this stupid or pretends to be this stupid is a 2D cardboard cutout of a person. Flat like they've been hit by a truck. Flat as a pancake. Treat them that way. That's what they are. No one's that stupid. This is just a low-level NPC gaslighter with no content, no ammunition, no creativity. He's just, you poo-poo head! What did I ever do to any of these people? How many bullets, literally bullets, did I take for these people? Without a single shred of gratitude, just get gaslighted, stabbed in the back, and spat upon. And it's, well, whatever I've done is so horrific that could just never be said. And the most they can come up with is vague accusations of, you're mentally unwell. Fucking scum. Fucking absolute scum. Go and get a lawyer. You know, I tried to get legal aid. I had to represent myself because I was refused even legal aid. I don't have any human rights whatsoever. I've got the documents I've showed over and over to prove it. Until you accept help and treatment for your mental health. Remember, it's always vague, right? Always vague gaslights that can never be explained. It makes my blood boil. It fucking pisses me off. Makes me fucking want to vomit. Probably was why I was sick earlier. Just thinking about filth like this. Until you accept help and treatment for your mental health, and until you take legal action to prove what you say is true, how can any of us help or defend you? Okay, stand on the road and get flattened by a fucking truck. You want to act like a 2D cardboard cutout? Live like one. Fucking scum. I don't need to prove my innocence. To be treated like a human being, to get basic human rights and be defended. As a citizen, I am innocent until proven guilty. Those in power are guilty until proven innocent. You think someone who's practiced law for 15 years would understand this? Of course I understand this. 2D cardboard cutout fucking vampires with a cup with a bottom cutout that can never hold content. Nothing but venomous toilet waste. I'm going to read, without even, I'm just going to read that again. Until you accept help and treatment for your mental health, and until you take legal action to prove what you say is true, as I haven't done over and over and over again, right? Nebulous accusations, denying evidence is abundantly put up over and over. How can any of us help you or defend you? As if there's is any requirements from me. I can't help you unless you jump through all these ridiculous hoops I just invented that will change every moment. Fucking scum. We can't help you until you've decided to acknowledge that you have issues. Yeah, your people like you are my fucking issue. Most of us do. Well, I don't. I don't have issues outside of you being my issue. You filth. And get help for yourself. This fucking low filth here. I'm fucking sick of it. Remember, this is a psychotic nutter whose life I saved that night, let alone it's an everyday thing for me almost. How many lives do I have to fucking save before I get basic human rights? It's the more good I do, the more people are held, the more I get trashed on. Especially the more money I lend people in fake emergencies that turned out you're just buying drugs and shit, and then you go gaslight me and lie and cover it up, and I show the logs, and suddenly you start spam false reports and shit. Fucking filth. I haven't been contacted by you in years, on here or otherwise, so don't post accusations on my page that I and any other friends are not defending you. Even though, you, literally in the last line before this, you just admitted it. Friendships go both ways. Well, no, they don't. But I'm the one who's been a friend to everyone who stabbed a knife in my back and took all my money and shit, right? And worse, far worse. Really? What have you ever done for me? Any of you? I've constantly done to the extreme for all of you and never asked for anything in return. And in my hour of need, when I'm being persecuted and literally taking bullets to save the world. You spit on me and stick a knife in my back. You fucking scum. And here's what it's all about, and it gets worse. I went through fucking cancer 6 years ago. Where were you then? So all this degenerate cares about is me, give me attention. Really, you weren't alone when you had cancer. You had it removed, and you're fine. And it was all a big event. You're the center of attention the whole time. You were never alone, any of it at a time. In fact, you're pushing people away because you're getting too much attention that you asked for and demanded. Really, you fucking piece of shit. And here's my response up here. Where was I? A fugitive trying to fucking survive. Like living in radioactive bushland. Gone dark. Trying to survive, bleeding out. Being chased by assassins on fucking camera. Where was I? Where were you when I required everyone to remind me and tell the world how important I am? Give me attention, prop me up because I can't hold myself up under my own merits. I was busy saving the fucking world. I was also busy dying in a fucking well, and you wouldn't even fucking throw me a rope. Too busy, me. The world is more important than you. The innocent and vulnerable are more important than you. When you behave like this, maybe you should take that cancer as a lesson. Maybe you fucking deserved it. And this is where it gets worse. Well, I followed up with another response. Meanwhile, your homosexual friends, it's a homosexual family in particular, well, I'll get to it in a sec. Meanwhile, your homosexual friends were spreading naked pictures of me online and using them for hookup sites. Well, hey, what did you do when your homosexual family friends, and there's a homosexual network of filth bags there. They were jealous of me, and they knew that I'd been gaslighted by the government, so they tried to befriend me. And then started borrowing money in emergencies until I had nothing left. My whole life savings, they took it all. And then when there's nothing left, make up lies, gaslight me. No one will believe what he says, right? The government's already done what they done to him, right? No one will take all his money, exploit him for everything we can get, and fuck him over, right? But there's more to this, and I want to explain this because this makes it worse. You think what's happened, what this example here so far is bad, it gets far worse. So what happened with that naked, specific naked picture is my friend Ben, who was someone I'd had to look after. He had all kinds of health and otherwise problems, and I had to look after him like a babysitter since his teens. At times I was his full-time babysitter, actually. He was like intellectually disabled, had a lot of health problems, and I kept him. I'm the only one who could really work with him properly. He'd have outbursts and stuff. I'm the only one who could sort his head out and keep him going and stuff, and exercise. I exercise him, all kinds of stuff. So he knew them, and they were jealous of me, and they would tell him things, and he would tell them things about me. And he told me, this didn't just tell me this, I confirmed this shortly after, that they were, out of jealousy, they were going around saying lies about the size of my doodle. Right? Which were not true, not remotely true. So, to prove to my friend who I've looked after since teenagers, just to prove the lies to be lies, I took a photo of it and showed him and only him. Once. Just to settle the record privately with my friend once and for all. He couldn't help but go back to them and confirm it was that the lie they were making up about my doodle was not just not true, but it was not remotely true, if you get what I mean. In doing so, he didn't realize that he let them know that I have that photo on my phone, because I showed him the photo of what was on my phone. So they thought up a plan of, let's steal his phone so we can take the photo. I got my phone back after they stole the photo, and then they started using it for themselves on homosexual hookup sites. And what does this Tracy person do the entire time? After everything that was fucking done to me, they do this. They milk me of my life savings. This is after they milk me of my life savings too. They do this. And there's a lot more. Like, they set the whole LGBT community after me, made up a whole bunch of lies to cover up what they'd done and try to fool everyone. Randoms in the street would pull me up and say, look, Jeremy, you don't know me, but I know you. I know what's going on, and a lot of other people do. And just want to let you know in advance and warn you that most people don't believe their lies, but some people do. Some really nasty people do, so just be careful. Right? So many people I've never met came up to me. Apparently it was the talk of the town, this shit. And it was basically the LGBT community that went after me. A whole bunch of like filthy perverts, drug addicts with an underworld of crime. This is like a guild of sexual deviants that were doing this. And I'm not saying that every homosexual does this, but I'm talking about a specific cult here, a perverted cult with self-mutilation, all kinds of stuff, an underworld community, right? A specific type of, and there's a lot of that in the Central Coast. In fact, there's all kinds of private underworld clubs and everything there for these people. And nepotism, they do nepotism to take over all kinds of organizations, government or non-government, all over the place. It's horrific. And they do, there's a lot of grooming they do as well. This is not a criticism universally of homosexuality. I'm talking about a specific guild of perverts here. So this guild went after me, and I think they did this on Facebook. They did this big campaign against me on Facebook, and I got attacked, or publicly and privately. But some of their members were like, "Hang on, something's not quite right here." And I did manage to get through to a couple of them to see the truth that, hey, their own fellow guild members here are up to no good. What they're saying is not true. But you apparently criticize homosexuals when I didn't. I'm not allowed to criticize homosexuals publicly or privately, am I? Not in Australia. If I go to America, where they've been banned from the military and stuff, certain places over there, I can finally speak freely about the topic. But I'm not in Australia. I'm not allowed to speak of that topic. They're a protected class, and I'm every unprotected class combined. So I'm not allowed to even speak on the topic as much as I want to. I get banned from everywhere and arrested for things that cannot be defined, while they go around abusing people with their protected class status, doing all kinds of crimes and underworld crimes and crap. And this whole idea of sicking the mob, the LGBT mob, onto people is a common thing. Oh, this one criticized homosexuals. Get him. This one's a racist. That one's a sexist. These are like assassination kill orders by a group of by a mob, basically, right? These are very serious threats when you go around accusing people of these things. Go hundreds of years ago, you call someone racist, who cares? What does that even mean? It's just nonsense, right? You say it these days. They lose their job. They get assassination attempts at them and everything because someone pointed a finger and basically sent a kill order on them. That's what these words mean. And that's what they did to me. But the truth came out, and the mob stopped after realizing that they were their crimes, what they did to me, were documented, that they were wrong, and those who set them onto me were covering up crimes, and they've involved themselves in some very serious crimes against me. So the attacks finally stopped. There's a big public reveal happened, and then the evidence got deleted, blah, blah, blah. But I got the documents of it, and some of the stuff is still up online to this day. It's horrific. And where was this Tracy and everyone else? Many people who milked me of my life savings under false pretenses to spend on drugs and crime and shit. Tracy didn't borrow money off me though. She might have. I'm not sure, but if she did, it wasn't much. Others did, borrowed not just money, all kinds of borrowing money and theft and all kinds of horrible shit and exploitation. So many of these people wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for me. So many lives I'd saved, and just get milk from everything I can get, right? But where was Tracy when this homosexual cult went after me and did all this horrible crap to me as a protected class? They sent the homosexual mob after me. I mean, there's a I can't remember the term. There's a term for them. I think it's something mob or something. There's a term that people use for this. You know what I'm talking about, though. This underworld of crime and sexual exploitation and stuff. Is a guild of them. So that's what her and buddies did to me. And guess worse. Why did this? Yeah, I want to say. Why do you think this homosexual family went after me in the first place? Was it just that they milked me of my life savings and needed to gaslight me to cover it up? There's another instigating factor here. Not only was that true, they needed to cover up stealing all my life savings under false pretenses. I saved one of their lives. In fact, I'm just going to say a first name, Renee. I saved Renee's life. And despite them all being homosexual, including her, I think she was a bit not sure about that. And she more than liked me. But I was taken because of by Cauliflower, who thinks I'm the devil incarnate because I'm buried under an ocean of lies. Which is cause for jealousy, right? But I was actually at Diggers, the club, and their family was there. And she called while I was there, she called her family up, help me. Me and this other girl there was actually a homosexual nightclub up down the road called Brothers, and a lot of bad. This is one of the used to be one of the underworld crime drug places that this guild ran, and it was closed down since, but they were at that club, and 4 men chased her and another girl in the streets to rape them. She'd lost track of the other girl, and they might have got her, and then Renee's running around trying to escape these 4 rapists, right? And who were apparently homosexual men raping a woman. However that works, don't ask me. It's kind of what they do, right? It's never meant to make sense. So she called the family to come save her quickly. I'm going to die. They're going to get me. They're going to rape me, kill me. Their family are not that interested. You know what they do? They ask me, hey, Jeremy, can you go down and save Renee? Because we won't. I immediately put my beer down and ran without stopping and saved her and took her back. Oh, she felt so special, right? Maybe she's never seen a real man before. Seen a real man do what real men do. Saving lives and protecting the vulnerable and shit like this, right? Made her feel so special. I tried to tell her, it's not what other people do for you that makes a person special. It's what you do for other people. I told her that night, you know that here's 2 other people that we both know whose lives are saved in a similar way, right? There's a reason why I consider people's lives worth saving, but it's what you do that makes you special. You should go out there and do the same. And because of jealousy of Cauliflower and that, she bawled her eyes out, so offended. Oh, I'm not so special. Oh no, how dare you? She was crying out of jealousy over Cauliflower and basically being turned down. And by the way, their family repeatedly before this had tried to convince me into impregnating their lesbian family member, Renee. All of them were all in on it, including her, to try to convince me into impregnating her, a lesbian, right? Which I refused the whole time. And but this was the final straw of jealousy over Cauliflower, someone who hates me or never speak to me again because fuck knows why. I'm something that's so horrific it can't be specified, right? Vague mental illness, claims of sweet nothings of poison. So because she was so upset, and apparently this was Cauliflower was upset when I tried to tell her what she meant to me. I never even got a chance to do that, and apparently that was enough grounds to portray me as a devil incarnate, because Cauliflower was crying about something. You go listen to my story, you see what she was actually crying about. I'd done nothing wrong. It's because I did something right. But here's me again. I saved her life, and what do I get? Bawling her eyes out in jealousy, and the family decides to declare war on me, and that was the instigating factor behind stealing the photo, spreading lies about my doodle. Then, after finding out they had a photo, to go use that photo for homosexual hookout sites for themselves, blah 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 blah, and all, and sending their LGBT mob after me and everything. You see, not every LGBT person, and I'm not. I'll just say this: I am not pro LGBT, and I'm not yet in this country allowed to say anything more beyond that. But I don't have a problem with every LGBT person. I don't agree with it. I have empathy for some of them who are being groomed by this cult. Not all of them are a member of the cult, but most of them get groomed by this cult. And so there are those who are like outliers, who have some sense of morality, who are not part of this evil cult. And they're the ones who started asking questions like, something's not right here. I think they damn well know, at least to some degree, that they're being groomed by a cult, and there's this underworld of crime going on and stuff, and they're like maybe kind of newcomers to it or whatever, or outliers who are not really for it. But those ones helped put a stop to the attacks. Fucking criminal scum. All because yet another life I saved in jealousy. And where was Tracy this whole time? Oh, that's right. She was going psychotic, going to kill people because psychotic, abusive crap. And yet, I get attacked from another angle while trying to save her life, and somehow I'm the one that has unspecified mental problems, really. I'm so fucking sick of this bullshit. So I repeat, I say, go on, tell me what my so-called fucking mental illness is. Gaslighting is the lowest form of crime. It's also the last refuge of a scoundrel, as I like to say. And here's her response before blocking and deleted me because, oh shit, evidence, right? And this is a coup de grace. And what is my so-called mental illness? I can never say, never specify or prove anything. It's just vague, nebulous gaslights and put-downs. The response is, and this is exactly why I wouldn't come to your aid and let's go back again. Down the bottom left here. Let me find it. Something like, how dare you accuse me of not helping you? Where is it? Yeah. So don't post accusations on my page that I and any other friends are not defending you. Hang on. Well, it's an accusation that you yourself acknowledged the line before, and up here again. Yeah, how dare you accuse me of not defending you, and this is why I wouldn't come to your aid. We're admitting it again. Like, how many narrative changes do we have to have? It's just like talking to ChatGPT 1.0. And this is exactly why I wouldn't come to your aid and defend you. I don't deserve your psychotic abuse. I don't deserve your psychotic abuse. All of you. It's just more psychotic abuse even here. That the more I help people, the more I save their lives and shit, the more I give them my entire life savings, the more I build their houses, their businesses, everything I do for them, to build a whole fucking life for them, the more I get trashed on by fucking filthy vampires. I don't deserve your psychotic abuse. I don't deserve your psychotic abuse, all of you. I even knew I'd cop it the second I laid the truth out to you. What truth? And if you knew that I was going to attack you Look, it's another guilty until proven guilty. This is typical psychotic behavior. Guilty until proven guilty. Hey, that person over there, that random person who's looking the other way, I know he's up to no good. He's going to do something. I'm sure he's going to stab me, so I better take him out first, right? That is typical violent psychotic behavior. Paranoid, psychotic, violent behavior. Looking for an excuse to attack people. I knew I'd cop it the second I laid the truth out to you. You're a truth teller now. You're a truther or whatever it is. With your coloured flags and COVID masks and all this. Remember, this happened during the height of COVID. Shilling for the government and stuff and everything. At the height of COVID, at the height of government dissent and everything, right? Well, police were literally going around shooting people with live ammo and shit, with the machine guns and stuff, and body armor. Fucking hell. You wonder why your friends have deserted you. Okay, why don't you tell me why my so-called fake friends have deserted me? I can do a list. Let's start with milking me my life savings. We can just go down the list, right? You can never tell me what my question was. What is my so-called fucking mental illness? Nothing can ever be specified. How dare you? How dare you ask the question? It's so horrific. I can't tell you. How dare you? That's a greater sin in itself. How dare you? Where's my? I don't have a greater avatar. I could do. I got one. No, I won't do that. It looks bad. It's horrific. It'll make you sick. Take a good hard look at how you've just attacked me. You know, I've attacked her, right? And she's attacking while she's in the very act of attacking me. The projection, the role reversal. It's just toxic venom diarrhea every moment of every day for these people. Just take a good, long, hard look at how you've just attacked me. Now say it all to a mirror. And this is just, I'm using this example as a representation of pretty much everyone. Everyone left me for, I mean, not everyone attacked me like this and joined in on this shit. Others just quietly left me for dead. A few of them, at least, apologized, admitted that, yes, everything you're saying is true, but I got to look out for myself, right? I'm too scared of being targeted too. Well, by doing that, screwing me over, he's caused the mess we're in a few hours. Technically, just over 7 hours now. Enough time for me to upload this, hopefully. I have to be quick because it's going to take processing time. Right, let's just be quick and finish this. Again, you haven't even contacted me in over 8 years. Again, I was literally in the bush on the run, being chased by fucking planes and helicopters, being shot at. I was poisoned, stabbed, trying to bury stashes of hard drives and documents of evidence. Really? I was a prisoner in a fucking dungeon being tortured for one of those years. Really? Why haven't you contacted me 8 years prior to then? What did you do? No, you joined in on it. You piece of shit. All of you. You are fucking unwell, and the sooner you acknowledge that, the better. Goodbye. What is my so-called fucking mental illness? You are unwell. As though the idea of a mental illness was created just after World War II. Same time as a whole bunch of other shit was invented. It was invented for political control of civilians, to gaslight and take people out to go outside, above and beyond the law. And it's rampant abuse, the rampant political abuse of psychiatry, which is the purpose of psychiatry, is abundantly, evidence is abundant. It's abundantly proven. And I'm not even going to bother pulling it up. I'm sick of being like, dude, look, there's two compilation images in this very screenshot, so enough is enough, right? Enough is fucking enough. I'll do something better than just give evidence. I'll do something better. Because I'm sick of putting up evidence and being denied right in your fucking face, and you can't even be clear on what you're fucking accusing me of, right? I'm just unwell in a vague, nebulous way. And you've been practicing law for 15 years. Really? In a David versus Goliath on steroids incident, me versus the government from every angle in 10 years, a whole decade of kangaroo courts, will barely cling into life from the injuries. Here I still am. You won't last 5 seconds in a courtroom with me, and you damn well fucking know it. All of you. That's why we have to conspire like little fucking goblin vampires in dark corners doing this filth. But I can't believe that very quickly on the Central Coast, not a single person was there to defend me. Everyone stabbed me in the back and left me for dead, or left me for dead. Every last fucking one. And people have looked at all the abundant evidence, documentation of this. There's so much I have never even put up, but so much that I have. And people in real dark places in the world, they look at these evidence and are like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? I'm not the problem here. You all are. So there's so much more I should say, but one more thing I wanted to cover. Here's a list, and I'll move my character around if I need to, right? I'll do all this. I'll see if it's big enough that I can read. I have a list of well-known, extensively documented and abused tactics done by governments when we got people who have been practicing law for 15 years and think that Australia is an almost perfect democracy. There is rule of law and everything's all going fine, just with a few minor hiccups. That's about it. We should be grateful, blah, blah, blah. Well, I don't believe anyone believed that 10 years ago. I don't believe that anyone believed that during the height of 2021, during the COVID epidemic, the mass protests, police shootings, all chaos going down, and especially hours before the great censorship machine kicks in. And if you just go go to X or something, go look at everything from every post from Anthony Albanese or any of these prime ministers or ex-prime ministers or any political figures pushing this shit, every single comment agrees with me. Every single fucking comment. You're on your own in your own little fucking corner with a bunch of fucking filth bag predators. You're a tiny minority in a tiny little corner in secret, hiding under a fucking rock. 99.9 blah 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 % of people agree with me. And I'm just going to go through a list of examples of government tactics. This is just 25 years representing one for each year since the turn of the millennium. Just like my golden rules of Internet Fight Club, 25 rules, one for each year. In fact, I might even go over them too. We'll see, right? I think I will. We'll see. 1. Kafkaesque bureaucracy. It's based on a novel. You can look this up later. It's a good first one to start with. Kafkaesque bureaucracy. A system where endless red tape, nonsensical procedures, and accountable officials, and unaccountable. I'll just say that again. Sorry. A system where endless red tape, nonsensical procedures, and unaccountable officials create a nightmarish loop that prevents resolution. 2. Gaslighting by bureaucracy. Making the complainant doubt their own sanity or perception by constantly moving goalposts and denying reality. 3. Perpetual deferral, also known as Catch-22 bureaucracy. A deliberate system of referrals where no one takes responsibility and the complainant is indefinitely cycled between departments or authorities. Oh my god, that's a good one that's extensively documented with me. It's so horrific. I'll just say 2 words. If you watch all my documentaries, you'll understand and laugh at this, or cringe and laugh about this. Best wishes. Certain people who know a lot of the evidence, they'll understand what that means. Institutional betrayal. 4. Institutional betrayal, when an institution meant to protect the individuals instead shields perpetrators, covers up abuses, and punishes those who seek justice. Sorry about me. My grammar mistakes. It's just because I'm sick. I'll try to push through it. 5. Malicious compliance. Officials strictly following rules in a way designed to delay or obstruct justice rather than resolve the issue. 6. Filibuster by procedure. You hear a lot of filibustering in America right now for the last few years, trying to filibuster the Trump administration for things. The Democrats doing that. Using excessive procedural steps to delay or prevent meaningful resolution. I've been hit by all these things. In fact, all these lists, these are a list. I asked ChatGPT in this case I gave it a whole bunch of evidence and documentation of my situation, and I wanted it to give a list of documented known government tactics that are used against people like me. And what these kind of tactics that are being pulled against me are. So this is tactics that one of the bigger AIs of today looks at my situation and recognizes this tactic, that tactic. So all these tactics apply to me according to an AI who's analyzed my situation. 7. Strategic lawsuits against public participation, known as SLAPP. SLAPP. In fact, there's a one word different insert as a variant of SLAPP as well, by the way. It could call it strategic litigation against public participation. They all basically mean the same thing. A legal harassment tactic used to silence critics by overwhelming them with legal burdens. Yeah, they did that a lot to me. It's fucking ridiculous. There's a lot more because I could talk for hours on that one. 8. Administrative harassment and bureaucratic harassment. Using the system itself as a weapon against the complainant, ensuring they are worn down emotionally, financially, and legally. 9. State-sanctioned retaliation. When government or institutional actors abuse their power to target whistleblowers or complainants. 10. Zersetzung. Psychological destabilization tactics. This is a widely abused one too, by the way. A Stasi-era psychological warfare, communist tactics, basically. A Stasi-era psychological warfare tactic used to destroy reputations, create isolation, and keep a target in a state of helplessness. In the real sense of what people call targeted individuals, most people use that term. They're just attention seekers with Truman syndrome. But nonetheless, this is a widely abused tactic to gaslight and target and fuck with people. Very communist kind of tactic, and it was used in Germany against post World War II. Any Germans loyal to their people. It was an East Germany thing. 11. Cognitive overload warfare. Bearing a target in endless paperwork, contradictory demands, and manufactured confusion to break them mentally. Only I wouldn't break. And it's hilarious when you see the hidden camera footage of they try this, they try that, and all the stuff that works on everyone just doesn't work on me and ends up backfiring on them. And you wonder why they saying hidden camera stuff like this is a real life Neo, basically, and they're afraid of me for a reason. Like they're novices dealing with an expert here. 12. The complaint paradox. When those in power control the very system that is supposed to hold them accountable, creating an inherent conflict of interest. And my oh my, this one is so widely abused in Australia. It's just ridiculous. It's very toddler-esque, but it's so rampant in Australia. People on the outside look at this like, you got to be fucking kidding. Like, this is like toddler shit. Because Australia is not under any political pressure from neighbours. It has no neighbours like it, and its neighbours are pretty much third world backward countries and stuff, and it's surrounded by oceans. 13. Political abuse of psychiatry. And this is the number one key tactic used widely everywhere. The deliberate misuse of mental health systems by governments or institutions to discredit dissidents or whistleblowers by labeling them unstable, delusional, or paranoid, thereby delegitimizing their claims. And this doesn't work unless it's backed up by degenerate filth like Tracy doing this gaslighting abuse themselves. Flying monkeys, you might call them. I think I might mention this here in this. Hopefully I mention this here. basically flying monkey kind of shit. If there were no degenerates in society who weaponize psychiatry to gaslight people and exploit people, this stuff wouldn't work. Because when the government does this to people, it opens up a door of abuse that anyone can abuse this target, and no one will believe. You'll get away with the abuse. You do whatever you want. You can take what you steal what you want from them, and no one will believe them, right? There's a lot more giant rabbit hole to the abuse behind political abuse of psychiatry beyond the obvious. It's all intentional. Forced or coerced psychiatric evaluations, misdiagnosis to neutralize or invalidate testimony, weaponizing mental health concerns, so-called, unquote, mental health concerns, which is just like vague mental health concerns, right? Weaponizing vague mental health concerns to justify intervention, detainment, or loss of credibility, using clinicians, like fake doctors, basically, aligned with institutional interests, like George Slowinski, who was rescued from prison for mass murder, not just his wife, but thousands of other people as well. He was rescued from prison and put in charge of a psychiatric torture facility in order to make people like me disappear. I've got his legal documents and everything. It's horrific. Historically, this kind of stuff is historically documented in the USSR, China, and during the Cold War. As I said before, look up things like sluggish schizophrenia in USSR. Millions of people under a fake disease were gulagged and tortured and mutilated in the name of a fake mental illness. This is not like a one rogue corner or something. This is the whole purpose of psychiatry everywhere. And it goes on in China today. You just don't hear about it because it's so repressive and secretive. It's the repression. People get taken out just by talking about it. But it is you find the right channels. You can find an abundance of evidence. It's just not accessible that much in the West unless you have an English speaking person. And yeah, this during the Cold War, this is a very like the number one kind of like CIA kind of MK Ultra kind of Cold War kind of shit. Yeah, it's all psychiatry, and it didn't stop, and the Cold War didn't stop. It's worse than ever today. 14, information containment and shadow suppression. I know a lot of these concepts already. This is just me getting an AI can confirm its own recognition of what's going on with the tactics being used against me. It's kind of like a reaffirmation of the obvious for people who don't know any better. This stuff is well known to me. Information containment and shadow suppression, shadow banning like administrative obscurity, reducing the visibility of a person. I've got all kind of evident proof, confirmation of all this too, as if it isn't obvious anyway. Reducing the visibility of a person's communications, complaints, online presence, or whistleblowing disclosures without explicitly censoring them. Emails silently go unanswered or get lost. Complaints accepted but never actioned. Social media or organizational platforms silently de-amplify the person's messages. Their work is forwarded into bureaucratic voids. Responses become algorithmically or procedurally invisible. 15, character assassination campaign. Oh, this was a big one to me as well. Backfired massively with very hilarious hidden camera responses of them panicking over it backfiring, not knowing what to do because they're dumbasses reading a script that someone else wrote. They don't understand. A character assassination campaign. 15, a coordinated effort, formal or informal, to damage a person's reputation, to undermine the credibility of their claims. Whisper campaigns, leaking selectively edited information, painting the whistleblower as unstable, vindictive, criminal, or incompetent, encouraging colleagues or media to distance themselves from the individual. My God, there's so much that this one. Would you believe the government police, especially the police, went around in and out of uniform? They went around in pubs and clubs. They would even they'd hang out in the park in the choke point, telling passers-by, "You seen this guy? Stay away from him. He's dangerous. He's evil. He's going to hurt your children or some bullshit. We're looking for him. Let us know if you find him." They knew that I had all my security cameras. I was holed up and barricaded in my home the entire time. They knew where I was, and they were going outside my home in the choke points, going to other places. They did this before I moved as well. Back at the entrance, going around public places, telling lies about me to try to turn the community against me. But yeah, it scared a lot of people, but it ended up backfiring because of that. Like, if they're saying all this crap about this dude, people are going to start asking questions like, why is the government doing this? Why are they so obsessed with saying all these horrible things about this guy? And people start looking into things and they see what's going on and they're like, dude, this guy must be a real serious threat to these corrupt motherfuckers. Everyone's fucking got a beef with these fuckers, especially around here. Every second house has had their door smashed in by police under false pretenses because it's a game they play. Like, everyone's got a problem. Oh no, there's a lot more I could say, but oh my god, that shit backfired. But yeah, the character assassination campaign an old classic, but they did that. They tried that on me on steroids. Didn't work. All these fucking flying monkey recruits, all these degenerates like Tracy and co. You tried this shit too. My that has not aged well, has it? And at the height of COVID at all times in 2021, really. Why is the image not? Oh, that's right. I get it. I'm just gonna move my character. In fact, I should I'll just move my character around, spin around a bit. Look like a bumblebee, don't I? I'm not a bumblebee. It's a coronavirus, actually. Let's go. We'll go to 15. I was. Whoops. Let's grab that image again. There we go. 16. 16. Social isolation engineering. Tactics designed to cut off the person from support networks, making them easier to pressure or dismiss. Discouraging, and do this to everyone too, and obviously they did this to me. All these things they did to me badly, too extreme. But isolating people is very critical to how they attack it. They're like a bunch of hyenas, right? They'll surround one target and they'll always attack you from behind when you're looking, while distracting you from the front. That's the tactics they always use. The moment one person comes to defend you, right, they scatter like fucking cockroaches. 16. Social isolation engineering. Tactics designed to cut off a person from support networks, making them easy to pressure or dismiss. Discouraging others from interacting with them. Be careful, they're trouble. Yeah, classic wording there. Subtle retaliation against allies. Subtle. Like when one person had police parking outside their home 3:30 p.m. every night, 2 police cars, just to intimidate them every day after raiding their home, pretending that they're looking for guns when it was just a hey, heads up, we're going to target you, you better be afraid. Then they hang around out in front of their home every day for like an hour at 3:30 p.m. 2 police cars. You think they haven't got nothing better to do? Yeah, they got nothing better to do. It's bizarre as it sounds, they'd hang around my garden at 3 a.m. giggling, probably off drugs or some shit, giggling, police hiding out in my front garden, giggling. Oh, that's crazy, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, they freaking do. That's how far gone they are, dude. A lot of witnesses people keep freaking telling me they keep seeing them doing it. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Not as crazy as 30 police raided my home at gunpoint, just a friendly courtesy call to let me know that I'm going to prison for 10 years for being a vampire and a werewolf. Turns out they do that to a lot of people just to try to gaslight them, so they try to tell people, it's like, oh, that couldn't be true. You must be crazy, right? Yeah, this is the kind of shit they do. The gaslighting is a big part of character assassination and social isolation engineering. And it only works because of degenerates like Tracy there. The flying monkeys who join in. Pieces of absolute fucking shit. A menace and a threat to everyone around them. Oh, so many of them. Central Coast is just full of them. Everyone fucked me over here. Subtle retaliation against allies, creating false narratives that the person is dangerous, dramatic, or unprofessional, encouraging the target's friends, co-workers, or family to step away for safety or due to concerns. And you see this in the media all the time too, right? They do this in the media all the time. It's all backfired on me, so it's in such a bad way, in a big way, that I'm just a deleted person now. I just deleted, and any remnants you find of me in any given moment here or there usually don't last long, get tampered with, changed, and eventually deleted. That's how it works. It's just the quarantine and delete is pretty much the tactics being to stay away from me and quarantine and delete everything. Hope he just dies from the injuries, quickly, quietly as possible. 17, legibility trap. Documentation inversion. Weaponizing the requirement for they pissed me off. I got documentation of this. It's fucking horrible. Weaponizing the requirement for documentation and proof by making the standards impossible to meet while simultaneously denying the person access to the evidence required. Hey, you need to give us this document from some other government department while they're proactively blocking you from delaying you from getting that document. And, oh yeah, we'll give you this document on a given day, which is the day after the deadline. Do you see what I'm saying? They did this, tried this shit on me, and they do this all the time. Fucking little weasels, Keir Starmer kind of paper NPC kind of people. Denying the person access to the evidence required. Demanding proof that the institution already possesses but refuses to release. Rejecting evidence based on because it is not in the right format. That's the one they tried to pull that shit at the NACT court, by the way. I've got the documentation of that black and white. Not in the right format. Requiring notarized, certified, or impossible to obtain documents. Lost files, corrupted submissions, or missing complete logs, blah blah blah. My life all every day. Well, I've got people are posting stuff to me. I'll have to check it later. My character's a bit too spun sideways. There we go. Procedural 18 procedural gaslighting. I'll hurry this up so it uploads in time. Procedural gaslighting 18. Deliberately pretending to be confused, uninformed, or powerless in order to delay, undermine, or avoid dealing with complaints. Officials who cannot find records repeatedly, over and over, they did this shit to me. IT departments that can't access, or others that can't, I've heard this so many times, we can't access the files. In fact, it can work in my favor like I did with the medical system when they gaslight and accuse me of horrible things, but when you click where it goes, it says, oh, this content is too offensive to see. Black and white, crystal clear what's going on, and causes massive consequences of dissent. Now, IT and other departments that can't access logs, can't access in quotation marks, logs that would verify misconduct, staff rotations so no one becomes responsible. Oh yeah, I've spoken about that a lot, the staff rotation things. 20. Oh, hang on. There should be a 19 somewhere. I don't know where. I must have deleted. Fuck. I must have accidentally deleted 19. Oh, I don't know where I must accidentally. We'll skip it. 20. Evidence dilution or data smothering. Hang on a second. I don't know where one's missing. All right. 20. Evidence dilution or data smothering. Overloading the target with massive irrelevant data sets or contradictory records so that their legitimate evidence is buried, diluted, or made harder to present. I mean, remember they tried to bluff with a massive pile of documents, which were just like multiple copies of my own evidence against them and a bunch of blank generic sheets of paper. Try to make it look like they had all this evidence on me to fuck me over, and I was like, they were trying to convince me into asking for an adjournment, and I went over it in a quick time when Mr. Orange was with me. I'm like, dude, this is a bluff. That's my own documents. Another copy, another copy, another copy. They're bluffing, and they're scared. I'm going to insist we do this today. And they still didn't do it today. They still adjourned it to Monday, I think it was. And they panicked. That might have been Monday they did that, but they panicked. They tried everything they could to stop the court case from continuing, and they couldn't. I've paid for the recordings of it, but it's all been, for lack of a better word, quarantined and classified. Right? You get what I mean? It never happened. I've got the documents for me. Show them that I paid for the transcript. Never got it. It's all been deleted. Never happened. Blah blah blah. And speaking of quarantine, 21, reputation quarantine. Institutions quietly flagged, this happens with the medical system, or to me all the time. It happened recently too, by the way. I've got the documents to prove that, of course. All the hospital logs try to fuck me over and have me killed by denying me help for my appendix by saying, oh, it's all in his head. He's got a history of making stuff up. Don't believe what he says. Turns out I was right yet again, and my appendix is busted for a week. People can die in hours after having an appendix burst. I had a whole fucking week and I'm still fucking here. on top of everything else. Institutions quietly flag the person's name so that whenever their complaint or application arrives, especially in the medical system, staff are subtly instructed to be dismissive, skeptical, or hostile, effectively a covert informal blacklist. And when someone has injuries, the medical abuse of this is so rampant. But I'm still here because there's pushback in the medical system. And there's also people on my side, so there's a lot of, whether it's enough or not, it's a huge tug of war between those who are trying to mess with my files and blacklist me and delay me as much as possible, and those who are like, fuck you, we know exactly what's going on. And I'm not saying that everyone's involved in this, but there's a big war both sides, but pissing people off. And I'm not the only case that this happens. It happens rampantly, but I'm in a very targeted way. And people see this shit and they get pissed off, and they know right away what's going on, and they're sick of it. Well, you got to whistleblow and make noise about this. You can't just go along with it and keep it quiet. You have an obligation to expose this and put a stop to it. It's a matter of life and death. 22, delegitimization by pathologization, framing the person's motives as emotional, obsessive, or pathological rather than rational or evidence-driven. You can associate this and the other tactics, psychiatry tactics, as like the fixated persons unit 984 bullshit. Look at the Friendly Jordans incident. It's not the best case example, but it's a clear example of the abuse here. The worst stuff, like in my case, you don't hear of. It gets massively censored just for mentioning it. Framing the person's motives as emotional, obsessive, or pathological rather than rational or evidence-driven. They're fixated, hence the fixated persons unit by name, as in the fixated persons unit, as shown in examples like the Friendly Geordies raid. They have a personal vendetta. They're mentally unwell and seeing patterns. Hey, Tracy's words exactly. You're just mentally unwell in a vague, nebulous way. They're mentally unwell and seeing patterns. Or they're too emotionally involved to be credible. 23. Delay to despair strategy. Yeah, ad nauseum in my case. Dragging out a case long enough that the individual runs out of money, energy, and social support or hope. Months-long pauses or years-long pauses between each reply, requiring the same evidence again and again. Moving the goalposts after each deadline. 24. Manufactured contradiction trap. Forcing the target into contradictory positions through impossible choices so that the institution can claim their story doesn't add up. You didn't report it quickly enough, or you reported too quickly before knowing all the facts. It doesn't matter. You're railroaded into a gaslight no matter what you say or do, right? Just railroaded every step of the way to a gaslight. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Last one, 25. Institutional amnesia. So sick of this one too. Officials repeatedly claiming to have no knowledge of prior complaints, investigations, or meetings despite documented history. This forces the whistleblower to restart the process endlessly, having to explain over and over and over again. And it's just like the fly monkey gaslight. So if you seen evidence, I would have seen it by now, and don't see it even though you post it every day and I pretend it's not there. It's all in your head, blah, blah, blah. Die. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do. So I'll turn the music off. There we go. Alright, I've got my main page of my website up. And I'm going to show another 25 list and we'll be done. In fact, I might need to... Let's go move my character. In fact, let's just... There we go. That's going to be my website raining. Unfortunately, my website rains. It's not so easy to turn off the rain. Let's just put my... You can see it in the background just in a sec. We'll go for another 25 list. Whoops, let's put me back my dude back on. Let's make him a bit bigger so we can see. Oh, a bit smaller. Is that right? That should do. Yeah, it's a bit covering up there, that's fine. Let's go. Rule 1. Do unto others... These are my golden rules of Internet Fight Club, by the way. Do unto others on the internet as you would do to a stranger in a rough pub on a Friday night, because it will be done unto you. Ignore these characters of different people and stuff. Rule 2. Judge others not by your rules, but by their rules, and their own punishments for violating them. Rule 3. There's no such thing as hate speech. If you hate my speech, censor thyself, or I will do it for you. Rule 4. For all who accuse others, they themselves are the first to be put through the test of fire. The accused has nothing to answer to until the accuser has nothing to answer to until the accuser survives the fire untarnished. Hypocrites don't get to speak. Rule 5. If you accuse someone of a heinous crime, you are required to quickly provide sufficient evidence. Fail, and you're convicted of the crime. Rule 6. According to the law, ideologies such as communism and Islam, and others I'm not allowed to yet criticize, are illegal due to their objectives and commandments. Rule 7. Acting in bad faith on the internet is no less a crime than doing it in person. Acting in bad faith is a crime. It's proving intent before you do the deed. You're convicted of the crime whether you follow through or not, if your intent can be proven within reasonable doubt. And it can be. Rule 8. Just because you got away with it on the internet doesn't make it acceptable. If your government doesn't hold you to account, I will personally hold you both to account. Rule 9. Sending someone dodgy links is like giving someone a sandwich you found in a bin in a dark alley. That's a violation of trust and a crime. Rule 10. Bullying, stalking and harassing people on the internet is not humour, but punishing them is. And it's an obligation to mock the humiliation. Rule 11. To each a punishment or reward as a measure of the power they wielded to do it. The inverse 2, 5 and 10 rule. I'm not going to get into the 2, 5 and 10 rule. It's be explaining, and I really need to hurry this up. Rule 12. Violence is only justified in legitimate self-defense. Denying victims that right is the ultimate unjustified violence. Rule 13. Those without power shall get respect by default. Those with power shall not get respect by default. Both can earn and lose respect. Rule 14. No hypocrisy, no foul, no matter the situation or circumstances or consequences. Rule 15. Refuse to answer a question 3 times in a row for no good reason, and your opponents dictate your right to speak forever. Rule 16. They answer to you, I answer to them, you answer to me. This is the holy trinity of accountability. Rule 17. If you have no solutions, you don't get to speak in the presence of those who do. Rule 18. Silence and provocation are both consent and a formal request for the consequences. Rule 19. You don't get to speak for anyone but yourself. You don't speak for anyone but yourself. There is no we, only I. Toddlers who can't fight their own battles don't belong at the big boys' table. Rule 20. Those who wield positions of entrusted power don't get to play dumb. That's an automatic maximum penalty. Rule 21. If you voice support for the violation of others and can't back it up with a sufficient justification, you forfeit your autonomy to those you would violate. Rule 22. For every metaphorical, indirect, passive-aggressive suggestion and innuendo you make, I will literally do unto you. Raid for raid, SWAT for SWAT, hack for smash. That means something. Well, it went by itself. Rule 23. Do what you want to the powerful. They're big boys who can handle themselves. But if you let you so much as suggest laying a hand on the innocent and vulnerable, I will find you and lay my hand on you. And that's a promise. Rule 24. If I catch you making hacking threats, I won't put an axe to your digital door. I'll put a hammer to your physical door, drag you out by the ear, stretch your balls up in a vice, and ask you questions on live stream. And that's what I mean by hack for smash. You make hacking threats, I smash down your door. And I'll smash down more than your door if I don't like your answers. Well, number 25. Rule 25. If you have no moral, artistic, or otherwise content of your own, you don't get to speak in the presence of those who do. And just one final word on the hack for smash. If you got like scammers, call center scammers, does anyone in the government want to say, oh, don't be a vigilante and take matters into your own hands, don't take them in, don't drag them by the ear into a room with their balls strapped up in the vice and ask them questions with a rusty $2 hammer in your hand? Let's see anyone in the entire world who doesn't agree with that. I mean, I don't need to use that hammer. If they just answer completely and honestly to every question I say, then I've got what I want. And then I hand them to their victims. They're to do as they please. I don't have to use that hammer. It's just there just in case they continue lying to me. If they just tell the whole truth, I'll let them go. I'll kind of let them go. I'll let them go into custody. The custody of their victims. I don't want to take that away from their victims. I want their victims to decide their fate, not me. It's not my purpose, not my job. I'm just there to get the confessions out of them. Okay, well my character's kind of shaking. That's not me. It's having trouble grabbing me because I'm turning my head too much. I'm looking at my left screen. One final thing. We'll go to my story. We'll finish in the last few seconds. Here's my putty cat hands. He's a cat. He defies physics. He can knock over both these pots if you click him. If you want to listen to my story. I recommend start with if you haven't seen my story, play with interactive, then watch the video. And if you can't handle what you see, you feel like you need to gaslight and act like a degenerate, then you don't deserve to know. And you can go die in a corner under a table, believe in whatever stupid crap you're spoon-fed from TV. Anyway, with that, I'm done. Enjoy 1984, because there's no coming back from this. And it's your own doing. People like Tracy, all those fuckers who fucked me over. This is all your fault. What's coming up on the world? You did this. And you attacked the only people who could have stopped this from happening. This is all your fault. Have your fill of this. You deserve everything that's coming your way.